Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to my channel, Dignity Duty. I am coming on today just to introduce myself again. I'm Chandra. I am a licensed mortgage loan officer, realtor, a life insurance agent. I wear a few different hats, but the most important hat that I've put on lately for my family is the role of an official caregiver. And this role encompasses being a guardian and conservator that's officially recognized by the court. And one of the reasons that this role is so important is because when we talk about land, we talk about property, we talk about life, we talk about continuity of someone's finances reaching to multiple generations. We even talk about being able to take care of our loved ones in a way that prevents them from just being a victim of society. That role is very important. And so I wanted to just start this channel to offer support, offer guidance, and offer information to those who are seeking to pursue this role for a loved one, or maybe you're already in this official role with a loved one and you just need some support, need answers, or maybe you have some information to provide as well. Disclaimer, I am not a lawyer. This channel is for informational purposes and not educational purposes, but informational purposes only, and also entertainment purposes, as I delve into my experiences and offer some suggestions on some of the things that I've had to experience in this official role. So today I kind of want to dive into the topic of what the role of a conservator is and why it can be a lifesaver when it comes to protecting our loved ones and our family's financial future. Okay, so what is a conservator exactly? In simple terms, a conservator is someone the court appoints to manage another person's financial affairs when that person can't do it safely on their own. I have another video that kind of talks about 5 ways to understand whether or not your loved one actually needs a guardian or conservator. So please feel free to go ahead and watch that video as well. So this role encompasses paying bills, managing bank accounts, protecting property, and making sure someone's assets aren't taken advantage of. Now, one thing I want to note, there are two different types of court appointed, right? There is the court appointed where there is a third party who comes in to take care of your loved one when family members are not able to do so. Okay, that's a court appointed conservator. That's, a third party. They may not have a personal knowledge of your family member, but they've stepped in. This is their business. This is what they do for a living. And then there's the other person, that's you or me, someone in the family that notices that something's not quite right with our loved one. We're seeing some different signs of mismanaging their funds where if they continue to live this way, they will end up on the street. We all see, individuals almost every day or daily. And I'm not talking about those that are scammers and don't, they actually have a life and they're just on the corner begging for money. But then we also see those who, if you had a chance to talk to them, you would understand that they just didn't have the best circumstances in life, and there was no one around to catch them or help them when they actually fell. And so that's where you step in. Okay, here are just a few things a conservator handles. Again, they pay everyday expenses and bills. They manage bank accounts and investments, collect income like Social Security and pensions. And when I say collect, I'm not saying collect it in your own bank account. I'm saying you've set aside a bank account specifically for your loved one, and you are allowing those funds to go through that account. I'm going to create another video, just kind of talk about some of the 5 things, 6 things, 7 things that you can go wrong when doing a conservatorship. And mingling funds or mishandling funds is one of the biggest number one reasons why conservators have to, not be able to operate in that role anymore. Also, they also protect property from neglect, loss, or fraud. So say your loved one has a house that they're living in, you're making sure that the taxes are paid, the mortgage is paid, you're making sure that it's kept up, that the city doesn't have to come out and fine them. You're basically, taking care of their property for them. You're filing official reports so the court knows everything is handled properly. Now, there are some ways where you can do this without being court appointed. But me being a paper person, having a background in research, I love having a paper trail. I love when it comes to siblings, when it comes to family members that have questions, I love being able to provide them a report that someone else, a third party, has looked at and said, okay, we do not see any red flags. So you're filing official reports when you are a court appointed conservator. These happen yearly. You have an accounting period that you have to answer for. And so they want to make sure that you're handling things properly. Now, you might be wondering, like, why is this role so important for families? Depending on the community that you're in, you may not even have heard of this role, except for if your family or if a family member maybe fell off the wayside and the state had to step in and take care of your family. And this is one of the reasons why I want to speak to those who are family members who have a loved one that you have the capacity to take on this role for. Because why not? Like, why let the state, let government, let someone else take care of your loved one for you? Now, I know it can be difficult, and I can talk about some of the challenges because it does kind of change the role, the relationship that you have with this loved one, depending on their personality, right? Depending on their level of independence that they want to maintain. It can be kind of difficult, but if you have the capacity, why allow the state to come in and do this? It matters when it's a family member, when you're close. You actually are preserving a family culture when you are able to step into this role. Number one of the reasons why it matters so much is that you are protecting vulnerable people. Seniors with dementia, adults with disabilities, or anyone facing mental health challenges can be targets for scams or bad financial decisions. A conservator helps shield them from harm. I remember taking on the individual that I have right now, and I kid you not, I literally, the first month or so, 2 months, I made phone calls. Does he owe you? And these were not like lenders. These were bookies. These were people on the street or people that he owed money to. I literally called them and I said, okay, we're in a position I want him to pay you back. And I gave them this red flag, and I gave them this warning. I'm paying you off, but if you decide that you want to lend to him again, you are on your own collecting back what you lent him. Um, Knowing his mental conditions or anything, your loved one might have an addiction, you never know. So it's important to make sure you clear up any loose ends. These are vulnerable people, and sometimes in society and the community, others don't necessarily know the struggles that the individual is going through. But because you are a family member, you know exactly what they are going through. Okay. Number two, it helps to prevent family conflict. Money can create tension in even the closest families. And we see it all the time. Someone passes away, and that's when all the drama comes to fruition. Like that's when everything comes up to the surface. But a conservatorship sets a neutral system, reducing disagreements and keeping family relationships intact. That's another reason why I love going through the court. It's like a third party, like an individual that is like looking on the out from the outside looking in and making non-biased decisions for the family, or not decisions, but having non-biased oversight for the family. I love that. Number three, legal accountability. Again, conservators must keep records, file reports, and answer to the court. That kind of oversight protects both the person and the family's peace of mind. One of the things that I had to obtain when I became a conservator is I had to obtain a bond on myself. So if anything were to happen, if I were ever accused, if I ever broke some rule and I was sued in regards to being a conservator, I have a bond that would actually ensure that that these items will be paid off or taken care of. So this is not every, I'm sure not every case is required, but it was required for me starting out because of what I was able to handle. Now it's been 7 years. I've finished 7 reports, and I remember the lawyer saying, "Would you like to petition to remove the bond?" And I said no, because I like having accountability. I like having insurance. I'm an insurance agent, so I like having insurance, right? I would hate for something to happen and someone comes and tries to take the personal things that I own. So I like having that insurance. Okay, so legal accountability. Number 4, preserving wealth for future generations. Conservators help ensure that assets are managed wisely so there's still legacy to pass on, whether it's a home, savings, or investments. Now, if you have a loved one that doesn't necessarily have any income coming in or doesn't necessarily have any assets or anything like that, then maybe the official court route may not be necessary for you. But I still suggest that you come in and help and take care of the financial responsibilities of this individual if they will allow you. Now, if the court is not involved and the court does not mandate certain things to take place, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But if they do have, substantial things coming in and then yet mismanaging it, it would be a great opportunity for you to help to preserve the family culture for future generations, and even, for them to make sure that they're living and having a stable life. And then finally, number 5, navigating complex benefits and care. So a conservator can help apply for Medicaid, VA benefits, or other programs, helping families plan for long-term care without losing everything. Okay, this is a great role. I'm telling you, this is something that is serious work, but it's also an incredible tool for keeping your family's future secure. It's about making sure our loved ones are cared for, not just today, but making sure for years to come that their legacy is preserved. So if you're ever wondering who would manage things for you, if you or someone you love couldn't, you're not alone. Drop your questions or experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Dignity Duty for more conversations about guardianship, conservatorship, and protecting the dignity of those we love. Remember, dignity isn't just a duty, it is a legacy. See you next time.